Hello, this is their strategy, and today we'll be looking at the classic 4-gate build. This build is a very prevalent build in PvP, and it's used in a lot of PvP games. So, if you learn this build, you can win a lot of games in PvP with relative ease if you can execute it correctly. I've been feeling a little sick lately, that's why I haven't been posting videos, but I'm still a little sick, so bear with me if I cough a little during this game. So, the 4-gate build is a really early rush where you chrono boost your warp gate research completely, and you attack at around 5:45 or 6 minutes into the game with around 6 stalkers and a zealot. So, we'll watch 3 of my 4 gates this game, and we're gonna see what I scout, and we're gonna see how I react and change my 4-gate depending on what I scout. So in this game, we're gonna focus on the 4-gate versus the 3 stalker rush. The 3 stalker rush basically intends to kill your initial zealot, stalker, and probe, which puts him ahead in stalker count, and also delays your proxy pylon, which delays your 4-gate until around 6:30. Now, the cons of that build is he delays his warp gate timing significantly compared to yours, and he's also on fewer gateways than you are since you wasted so many chrono boosts and minerals in getting those clearly stalkers out. So the basic build order for a 4-gate is 9 pylon, 12 gateway, and then we're gonna get around a 14 assimilator. Now, my 4-gate, I only chrono boost the nexus once as soon as the first pylon finishes. You can chrono boost the nexus after you put down the gateway also, but I just choose to chrono boost it only once just to rush my warp gate timing a few seconds faster, because a few seconds can make a big difference. So let's see what I scout. So far it's pretty standard. So you have to either stay in his base or come back for secondary scouting. Now, pull your probe. As soon as your gateway finishes, you put down a cyber core, which will go down at around 16 or 17 as soon as your gate finishes. And you also put down the second pylon around 15 or 16, depending on whether you use that chrono boost or not on the nexus the second time. So now I'm back in his base, and let's see what I scout. So, okay, I see the 2 pylons. This is all pretty standard. What I want to do is I want to check the second gas timing. That's the most crucial thing for me to look at. If I see a really early second gas, that means he can be doing a sentry or robo build, which would indicate for me to do a slightly different 4-gate. So now as soon as my cyber core is done, I research warp gate and chrono boost it. You get your first zealot at around 17 or 18 supply. Right after that, you get your first stalker. And then, you're saving up minerals, and you're gonna drop 3 gateways at around 24 supply. Now I should build another probe here. You wanna stop probe production when you have 19, 20 probes, 16 on minerals, 3 on gas, and 1 probe here. So if we look at what I scouted no second gas and a really early second gateway. This indicates a 3 stalker rush, which, when you see a 3 stalker rush, what you want to do, you don't want to be as aggressive with your 4-gate and your proxy pylon placement. So what you want to do, see as a stalker really early, when you see just 1 stalker, try to shoot it back. And the thing is, 3 stalkers still take a considerable amount of time to kill a proxy pylon. So you put a proxy pylon far back when you're facing a 3 stalker rush. And we'll get for a second proxy pylon. And there's our stalker. And see, now 2 stalkers shouldn't have any problems taking out 1 Zed and 1 stalker with good micro, but if you look at the production bar, his warp gate is significantly delayed and mine's already done. Also, if you look at the everyone tab, you can see that he only has 2 gateways right now and his third one is just building. So he since he failed to get a significant advantage, he's gonna be really far behind once this 4 gate does hit. And you'll see that he's just gonna leave the game after my first warp in. And there's the warp in. And he's trying to do what he can. And my fourth gateway is a little delayed for some reason. Normally it shouldn't be delayed too much. They should all fall out at the same time. And if you look, he left the game. The reason he left the game is because his warp gate just finished. And he's just putting down the fourth gateway. So, besides the fact that he's going to lose these 2 stalkers, he's going to be behind in stalker count. So I'm going to kill these 2 stalkers, and I'm going to have 4 stalkers remaining. He's going to warp in 3 more stalkers, so then I'm just going to be at a really big advantage throughout the game. So now you're going to dive into our next replay, which shows a different version of the 4 gate being used. Now this build, it just shows when you're facing a 4 gate with your 4 gate. And we're going to see different decision making. Now, when you're facing another 4 gate, you can either attack or you can defend. If you feel like your 4 gate is significantly better than his, or your warp gate timing is ahead of his significantly, you can attack, which I think I do in this game. But if you see his zealot coming up the map in his stalker, you can just do a defensive 4 gate. The thing, defensive 4 gate should crush an offensive 4 gate, because not only will you probably pick off his stalker and zealot, you'll also have the advantage of being up the ramp and having a better arc. For example, if you have 6 stalkers and a zealot in an arc right here, and he has 6 stalkers all clumped up right here, you're going to be at a significant advantage. So the build order is pretty much the same: 9 pylon, 12 gateway, 14 assimilator, 15 or 16 pylon, 16 or 17 assimilator. Then get a zealot and a stalker from your first gateway. Keep chrono boosting warp gate as soon as the cyber finishes. And then you put down 3 gateways at 24 supply. And you stop probe production once you have 20 total probes. So there's our first gateway. I'll open the production tab. We're gonna go back into my view just so we can see what I scout. Now, 4 gates aren't the easiest to scout. So the thing you're looking for when you're scouting a 4 gate, check the status of the chrono boost bar. If he's saving them up, that could indicate a 4 gate. Or either a 4 gate or a 3 stalker push. If he's on 1 gas, that could indicate a 4 gate. And also, the last thing that differentiates a 4 gate and a 3 stalker push is the first zealot. If he skips the first zealot, he's probably either doing a 3 stalker push or something else like a quick robo build. So let's look at my scout and see what I can find from looking at his base. So I see a gateway, a pylon, a cyber. I also see that he saved up a lot of energy on his nexus. Let's see, we can also see the gas. So he's on 1 gas and he's making his zealots first. That's a pretty clear indication that he's also 4 gating. But then I see that he gets the second gas. So that can indicate a sentry. That can indicate a quick sentry push. Or he's doing a little bit of a delayed 4 gate. So, as soon as you see that second gas, I decide that I'm gonna 4 gate him normally. Because if I didn't see the second gas, I would assume he's normally 4 gating me. The whole point of getting the second gas is that you're gonna be a little bit stronger when you actually do your 4 gate. You can warp in just stalkers. When you're only on 1 gas, you have to warp in a lot of zealots also, which aren't as strong as stalkers. But he's just doing a normal 4 gate, as you can see. If you look at our build, he's putting down the 3 warp gates, and I put down the 3 warp gates. He just got this gas. That's the only difference, is that he got this gas. He's not even using it. Maybe it's to throw off my scouting. Maybe it's so he can transition if he needs to. But we're both 4 gating. Now, the whole point, throwing down the gas slightly delays his warp gate timing, because it also delays, not only does it delay warp gate, it delays his first stalker. My stalker is going to be out slightly earlier than his, because he spent these 75 minerals. 75 minerals isn't too significant, but it does make a small difference. So now, always put a proxy pylon in his base if you can, just in case he makes a sentry. Because with the second gas, I don't know if he's using it or not, so he could make a sentry. And now I'm just going to basically win, because my 4 gate's slightly faster than him, and I got this pylon up. So with a little bit of I'm waiting for my stalker to come, and this is really close. As you can see, a 4 gate versus a 4 gate is a pretty close build, but my warpins are a little bit faster than his, and now I just have to micro a little here and I should win. Now, if we didn't see this gas, I would have just 4 gated at my main, defended his 4 gate, and then I could either counter attack or expand. And now, as you can see, I'm just really far ahead, because at first it's a little advantage, but then as long as you micro well, it turns into a big advantage. Also, now he's warping in a sentry, which I don't really see the point to, because I'm pretty sure he knows I have a pylon in his base, so there's really no point to make a sentry right now. It's not really gonna help him much. And this is basically how you beat a 4 gate of an enemy. So, and now I'm gonna dive into our last game, which is basically when people try to hold a 4 gate with a 2 gate robo or a 3 gate robo. Now, if they can get an immortal out by the time you're up his ramp, you're gonna be at a very tough position, because immortals are very good against stalkers, and stalkers aren't too good against immortals. So the whole point of this build is that he gets a sentry out kind of quickly and force fields once or twice, which delays your 4 gate long enough so he can get an immortal out. Now, this build can be very dangerous, because if your 4 gate fails and he has a robo, he can pretty easily beat you, because he can go whatever he wants. He can go immortal and push. He can go colossi and push. And if he gets colossi or immortal and you're just on 4 gateways, that's gonna be a big problem for you. So we're gonna see him open up pretty standard, and we're gonna go back into my vision, and we're gonna just start this game on ×2 until I scout him, because the build order in the beginning is pretty much the same. There's the pylon, a cyber core. Yep. There's my gas. So let's see what I scout from his base, because you don't really change the build order for your 4 gate. The only thing you change is where you put your proxy pylons and how early you're attacking. For example, as you saw in the 3 stalker push, we kept our units pretty far back, and we put our proxy pylon pretty far back. For example, if I was facing a 3 stalker push, I'd place my proxy pylon around here. Or at least and one could even be over here, because 3 stalkers are pretty powerful. So, I saw a zealot. So a zealot either means he's 4 gating, or it can also mean that he's doing the robo, because sometimes in the robo they get a zealot just for early defense. So now we're gonna look what I do. So what we're gonna do, since I haven't seen the second since I haven't seen a stalker, we're gonna push up the ramp, and we see that he has a sentry. Now, the fact that he has a sentry is a pretty good indication that he's 4 gating. I mean that he's doing some sort of robo build. So now the key is you want to attack up his ramp pretty early, and you want to place proxy pylons in his base. what this will do is this will prevent the sentry from force fielding you out of his base. And now since if we look at everyone vision, in this time he went for a tree gate. It could have been a tree gate blink stalker build or something, but whenever they go for our early 2 gas sentry, where they try to do a sentry build, you have to attack pretty early if you want to succeed with your 4 gate, because if you don't attack early enough and he gets 5 sentries, he can constantly force field this, and you're gonna be really behind, like in your tech. For example, if he does a 3 gate blink build and you're just on 4 gate with no blink, he's gonna have a clear advantage because he can out micro your stalkers. But now, as you can see, a 4 gate easily beats a 3 gate when he's not abusing the ramp advantage. So when you have pylons in his base and your units don't have to walk from like here or back from your base, a 4 gate just easily beats a 3 gate. So that's basically my rant of the day of how do you 4 gate and how do you scout for different 4 gate times. So I hope you have fun 4 gating. Also, 4 gating is a PvP build mostly. It's not that prevalent in PvZ or PvT.